you want to talk Russell Wilson and the Steelers?
Let's do it. I mean, I think that they are gonna they expect themselves to make a very deep push in this NFL playoffs this year. I'm very excited for what we can do, and we are seeing a resurgence in Russell Wilson. And I'm gonna go ahead and pat myself on the back. I believed in it. I thought that he was gonna do this. So go ahead, good round of applause for me because I believed in it. I knew that Russell Wilson. I don't think he was gonna turn all the way back into what he's looked so far, but I thought he was gonna look a lot better in a Steelers uniform, and he has. He's come out here and he's just gotten all of his the moon ball. I know Chris Collinsworth loves to call out the moon ball. He's gotten the moon ball back, and with that, his aura is just completely replenished.
Yeah, I'll say I was one of the people not really believing in Russ, and I didn't want to believe it week in week out. But the guy's just letting it loose. I saw an old clip of him in Denver where the lineman is yelling, the D lineman's yelling at him in his face, his own D lineman. And I was like, man, you wouldn't have thought from that moment to now that this guy is leading a 7-2 Steelers team and they're looking really good. And it's not just that he's like game managing, like this guy is making throws. Like he's unlocked Pickens in a way that just Justin Fields couldn't and Kenny Pickett couldn't. And I think it's just the confidence of being like, well, fuck it. I'm just gonna put it up and let the athlete go make the play.
Yeah, and again, I said it last week. I'm going to say it again this week. Them making the move for Mike Williams is a perfect complement to what they were already doing, and we've seen it this past week with touchdowns to George Pickens, with the Pat Frymuth, and then the Mike Williams touchdown. Like all these pieces fit perfectly with what Russell Wilson will do, and which Russell Wilson will turn it out. He will be like, I trust you. You go out there and get it. And Mike Williams complements that perfectly.
And you know why this was the perfect fit now that I'm sitting here looking at this? Because all these crazy guys who went to Pittsburgh and you never heard a peep out of them, Mike Tomlin kept them all in check until they left. Russell Wilson needed that shit because Russell
Yeah.
Wilson was a menace at the end of Seattle. He was a terrible team guy in Denver. So to go here and you haven't heard anything about Russell doing anything that's oh me. Like he's been all about the team, and I think that just goes to show like Mike Tomlin had to sit this motherfucker down and being like, "This is how it's gonna be. You're either with us or you're not." And I think it showed that Mike Tomlin was really gonna hold that to him by not putting Russell in and letting Justin Fields try to earn the job.
Yeah. And I think, did you see the highlight tape where it shows like the different touchdowns from this past week? And then afterwards, it shows Mike Tomlin congratulating Mike Williams. Did you see that?
Nuh-uh.
Well, in it, it was just so cool to see. After Mike Williams scores the touchdown, Tomlin comes up to him and he's like, "Congratulations, you're a Steeler now." And it's just like such a cool moment. But that shows what this Steelers culture is. And it starts at the top with Mike Tomlin. Everybody comes in here and wants to work for Mike Tomlin's respect. Even George Pickens, like George Pickens has his moments and does whatever. But realistically, Mike really does pull him and rein him in and has dinner, makes him have dinner with him at his house, and does all these things to try to rein in what George Pickens can do. But honestly, he does want him to go out there and just be a dog. But that is 100%. You're right. I think Russell Wilson needed an organization in a town just like this, where it's not Hollywood, it's not the egos getting to his head. It's Pittsburgh. We're blue collar. We go out there, we do our thing. We are the Steelers. We're tough. We're ready for anything, and we just take no nonsense. It's Steelers football. I think that is perfect. And Russell Wilson just kind of he's like a almost like a chameleon where he will shape into wherever his surroundings is, and he's fitting this team perfectly.
Yeah, and I'm excited for the matchup this week with Baltimore because I really don't know who I want to pick in that game. You want to go Ravens, but they've looked like every week it's
Up and down.
up and down, just like Derrick Henry's pants. Oh,